Hello everyone, it's been a minute. I mean, it's been a couple of years. It's been like 5 years to be honest. Uh, Shinigami Sam here to talk about a new Bleach chapter. Now, this is really surreal to me. I didn't think this was gonna happen again. I knew obviously the anime is coming back. It was supposed to come back this year, but clearly not. So obviously it's coming back next year. But this is really surreal to me because I just didn't think I was gonna come up here and record a video talking about the chapter again. I just didn't think, I thought that chapter, pun not intended, was closed. I didn't think we were ever going to see Tai Kubo, Kubo Sensei, like bring chapters out again. And it's crazy that this is like surreal, like this whole weekend I've been pinching myself. It's like, no. I mean, I heard about the news a couple of weeks back, like you'd see it on the Reddit or like you heard about it being like rumors saying like Kubo's releasing like a special one shot. I was just like, okay. Like obviously it got me excited, but I still didn't believe it. Like I just assumed we were gonna get a slice of life. Ichigo and his family, Ichigo and Co. Like let's go to the beach kind of chapter, and then at the beach Hollow was gonna appear. And then like Rukia and Renji and like it's crazy for me to even say these names again. Like it feels so like foreign, but at the same time so like nostalgic even just saying these names again. But yeah, that's what I truly thought was gonna happen. I thought we were gonna get like a let's go to the beach episode or like I know people were thinking it was gonna be like a wedding episode, like not episode, chapter, sorry. But no, like something that we would never have thought of. Kubo not only brings back one of the themes and one of the things storylines, which was like introduced right at the start with Shrika, I believe, Shrika the Hollow. I may be wrong because it's been a minute, but anyway, yeah, hell, like obviously that was introduced right at the start of Bleach when I believe it was Shrika. Him even before being a Hollow, he was like a criminal or something like that, and he got sentenced to hell instead of being purified or whatever, all of that kind of stuff. Um, because of the crimes that he committed as a living person. So it's just crazy that like what like that Kubo's even doing this. So there's so many things that I want to talk about. I really want to keep. I don't want to like drag this video on for so long. But I know there's a lot of you guys who's been subscribers to this channel, and a lot of you guys, after Bleach was finished, I started talking about My Hero, I started talking about Black Clover, which I had been doing. Obviously, I've stopped for like 8 months. I've been like really caught up with a lot of stuff. And it's just been a crazy year to be honest. Um, but yeah, there has been a lot of some subscribers from my past who I hope to see again, maybe on the comments. I hope like you guys will come back to watch all this kind of stuff because it's been crazy. Like that we're back to this, and I've been saying crazy a lot. I feel like I'm overdoing it, but I remember the first chapter I spoke about, and I can't remember it precisely. I believe it was like chapter 500 and I can't remember the chapters now, but I remember it was the fight between Mayuri and Hitsugaya when Hitsugaya was like a zombie. It was during that kind of fight. But let's not go down memory lane. Let's actually just talk about this chapter because this chapter is mad to me. Now, a lot of people are feeling skeptical whether is this like a new arc, like what's Kubo doing? I believe this is a setup for a new arc, and I believe it's a setup for a new arc for a couple of reasons. In the unofficial translation, it did say like, Breath from Hell new arc or something like that. It doesn't say that in the official translation. However, if we were just to think about it logically, it just doesn't make sense. If we were to think that this was just a one-off chapter, celebrating Bleach's 20th year anniversary, why the hell? Again, pun not intended. Like, why would Kubo do a chapter like this? This chapter is blatantly a setup chapter. If it was just a one-off and it was not going to be done again, just like, seeing everyone again would been cute, all that kind of stuff, it would have been a chapter such as, let's go to the beach, or it would have been I don't know, focusing on the kids, like, I don't know, Kazui going to, like school or something like that, or Chad would have like a boxing event and everyone comes to watch, etc. Stuff like that, right? Or like you kind of get my drift. It would be a chapter like that. It would be a chapter where it's an enclosed story. So even if it was 73 pages long or just 20 odd pages, like it would from chapter one, it would introduce not chapter one from page one, it would introduce something like a plot, and it would be finished and tied up at the end of the chapter. However, Kubo did not do that with this chapter. He was basically starting and opening up a new story. Like, who does that if it's going to be just a one-off thing? So obviously there's that. And just even Kubo going into such, like, again, if it was to be a one-off chapter, why would he create new characters, right? We got two new vice captains, Yu, I believe, and Atao, or is Rindo. I don't know. Iba called him Atao. I'll probably pronounce that incorrect. But then Renji called him Rindo. So it's probably like, first name, last name kind of thing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, why would Kubo go to the lengths of creating two new characters? Why would he go to the lengths of just adding to the lore? Like, just in regards to hell, like doing all of the stuff with Poro, doing all the stuff, linking it back to the hell butterflies, like all the way from freaking chapter 1. Like, that's insane. So yeah, just all of that kind of stuff. That's why I believe it's not just a one-off chapter. I believe it is setting up an arc. Now, if it is setting up a new arc, if Bleach the manga's coming back, we have to ask a couple of questions. When is it going to come back? And what is it going to be like? I was even thinking about it today, actually. In a perfect world, I would want, Bleach Weekly to come back. But I'm not sure. One, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's realistic. And two, I don't think it'd be best for Kubo. The whole problems that Kubo was having, especially coming into the end with the 1,000-Year Blood War, was just he was getting ill coming to the end of it as well. And, just being a mangaka, it's hard work, it's intense. So week in, week out, like him doing that, it was obviously taking a toll on his body. And I remember he even released, I think on social media, he released like a chapter that he drew about like, a kid asked him like if he's okay and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we know that Kubo hasn't obviously been in the best of health, especially coming to the end of Bleach, of the manga of the 1,000-Year Blood War. So I wouldn't want something like that to be repeated. So in a perfect world, I would want weekly, but I think something more realistically, which would still make me unbelievably happy, is like a monthly. Like a monthly's release. That'd be really cool. Something like akin to Attack on Titan in regards to especially chapter length as well. It would be amazing if it came back monthly and we had something like 40 odd chapters, 40 odd pages a month, 40 odd chapters, lol. But yeah, it'd be amazing if it would be something like 40 odd pages a month. But at the end of the day, like, beggars can't be choosers. So if it was a thing where it was monthly and it was just 20 pages, 18 pages, like, I'm not gonna say no to that. Like, this is Bleach. Like, I'm gonna accept that like with open arms. I've just got a couple of things written down here, just because like it has been 73 pages and it's been a minute. Like, it's been a good 3, 4, 5 years since I've been spoken about Bleach. So there was a couple of things that I wrote down. So okay, a couple of things that I liked that I want to talk about. This was so Bleach. And I mean that in the sense of like it just gave me like throwbacks to the start of Bleach in terms of like when Rukia was living in Ichigo's room, that all the way back then. That's the kind of vibes I was getting from it in regards to like Kazui and Kon. Like, it was great to see Kon as well. Like, I was just so shocked at the amount of characters, the amount of people that Kubo was bringing back in this chapter. Like, it wasn't just focusing on just Ichigo and the family, or just Ichigo, Renji, Uryu, Rukia, etc. No, Kubo was basically reintroducing us to the world of Bleach, to everyone, with all the way to like freaking Keigo, from Keigo all the way to Orihime, to all the way to the captains, to the lieutenants, to Mayuri, all of that kind of stuff, and then even name dropping people like Urahara, all of that kind of stuff. So it was just really, really, it was really, really good to see that, and just to even read that, and just like it really pulled me back into that world. And it has been a while, and obviously we have missed it. So it was really, really, in my opinion, it was quite fond. Like, I got that kind of fond feeling of, just seeing all of those characters again. But yes, I really loved that in regards to like, this is Bleach, like Kubo is greatest in my opinion. Like, in regards to, everyone says that 1,000-Year Blood War was Kubo's best arc ever. And I agree with it to an extent. I think it was, but again, that's a topic for another day. And I think this chapter, in my opinion, was one of Kubo's best setup chapters. Like it was amazing. It had everything. We had the slice of life, we had the comedy, we had the threat, we had like introducing like the theme, the big bad, the mystery, all of that kind of stuff, right? Kubo's juggling so much things on this chapter. What the heck is going on with Kazumi? How the hell does he know how to open a portal to hell? So stuff like that. What else would be juggling? Stuff with slice of life in regards to like Keigo, character relationships and dynamics between characters, for example, like Kon and Kazui, um, Ikaku and Ichika. Like that was amazing to see, and obviously that links back to Ikaku and Renji, because obviously Ikaku used to train Renji, and they had that relationship. Because Renji used to be in Squad 11. He did, I believe, yeah, before he moved over to Squad 6 under Byakuya. So yeah, it was just stuff like that that Kubo was really, really going in depth on that, and I really did appreciate that. What else did I want to say? Yeah, so the Hell arc was, like Kubo even introducing that. Like, I don't, like, I'm still even getting to the grasp of how, like, good that was in regards to Kubo. Like, if Kubo was setting up a new arc, Kubo could have created something new. Like, he could have brought in a new race, he could have done all of that kind of stuff. And us, the fans, we would have eaten it up. We would have probably wanted something a bit more like, with some like more of a link to the original story. But we would have eaten it up nonetheless. And Kubo going all the way back to the Hell arc is really, really crazy to me because um either way it means two things. Either Kubo planned this from the beginning, like when he first created the manga, he was just like, yeah, I would probably want to do something with Hell. Or he didn't, and he just thought of this when he was recreating the story, and then because he had things linked to that and he remembered, he was just like, oh, okay, I can just connect those two. Either way is good because it shows that it seems like it's just an organic tie and like continuation to the story. Like it just seems like this isn't a one shot. It seems like this is chapter 687. Like that's the vibes I got when I was reading this chapter. Which is a good thing. Like that's a good thing to feel. What else did I want to say? So that was a really, really cool thing to say. And I'll talk about the Hell stuff in a minute because there's a lot of questions. Like the whole things from Ikutake to Sao Poro, all of that kind of stuff. Another thing that I really liked was just how organic it's felt seeing like Ichigo, Renji, all of them as adults and as parents as well, like functioning as parents. Like Ichigo's got like a job, right? Ichigo's a translator. They were talking about how, like they were talking about how they want to get drinks after this and all that kind of stuff. And Ichigo's saying, I've got a couple of deadlines, but it should be fine. Stuff like that was just really organic to see, really, really cool. I thought it was a little bit weird that we didn't get to see like Chad and Uryu, but I feel like again, the fact that if this was just an isolated story and this was just like a one-shot chapter, we would have seen everyone. Like if this was just a one-shot chapter and it wasn't to be like it wasn't to start like an arc or anything, then Kubo would have put in like Yoruichi, Kisuke, he would have probably put in Chad and Uryu, etc. So it was kind of odd that they weren't there, but then again, because I do believe this is a set up for a new arc, we'll see them sooner enough. Now, I did see on the Reddit, I can't remember who commented about this, but I did see on the Reddit someone made a post saying how like the first arc was kind of centered around Rukia, the second arc was Orihime, the third arc was Fullbring, like Chad, then Thousand Year Blood was Uryu, and like this arc is now going to be centered around Renji, which is a really interesting theory to think about. And if you do think about it, of course, Society was Rukia, Waco Mundo was obviously Orihime, Fullbring was Chad, because obviously Chad is a Fullbring. And then obviously Thousand Year Blood War, Quincy, that was Uryu. And it would be cool to see something centered around Renji, and that would be really, really cool. And obviously, it was obvious in this chapter. It was blatant in this chapter, Zalporo having that revenge or having that, what's the word? Hatred, I guess. It's not really the word I was thinking of, but we can use that anyway. Like having that hatred in regards to Renji and obviously Uryu and Mayuri, because they did fight in the Arankar arc. So it was pretty cool to see, and obviously Renji as the father, like Ichika being there, because obviously Ichika wasn't supposed to be there. She was just being really, really sneaky and like cheeky, by the way. And obviously not to go on a tangent, but that did remind me of Ichiko and her character. I think her character is amazing, and obviously we did see parts of that in 686 in the last chapter, how many years back. But seeing her a bit more fleshed out in this chapter was really, really cool and funny because she just gave me vibes that she just seems like the perfect, literally like in regards to personality, seems like perfect combination of Renji and Rukia. Like you're seeing Rukia in this chapter acting like a mum or like a grandma who's not really familiar with technology, didn't really know how to use it, and on the phone. Like that was so cute to see. And again, it was just like reminding me of how like the relationship between Rukia and Ichigo. It made me laugh when Rukia, in official translation, Rukia was just saying how like, oh my gosh, like you're leaving or he made to, do the laundry. I didn't pick out you to be like some traditional man. And is this like a start? Like it was so funny to see. Obviously, I'm butchering what Rukia said, but it just really made me laugh because it was just like so reminiscent of how Rukia used to be with Ichigo. And I remember, wow, this is probably like the first arc in Bleach. So when Rukia was living in Ichigo's room, I feel like Rukia guilt tripped Ichigo, being like, "Oh no, you can't let," like she was whimpering and crying and like obviously fake crying, but she was like whimpering, saying, "How can you make me live out on the streets?" And what would everyone say and all that kind of stuff, like guilt tripping Ichigo into living in like staying in the house. So it really did make me think all the way back to the end of that. Um, Other things I liked, I really do like the new characters actually, the new vice captains, Yu Yu and Atao. The fact that he is deaf and sign language, that's really, really cool. Like him using sign language, really, really cool. And the way that he invoked his Sanpakuto as well, I believe he was using sign, or maybe he even wrote it on his like on the sheath of the sword. Like that was really, really cool to see. Interesting that both of them Sanpakutos are linked to like their abilities linked to like animal abilities. Like you use like a bear and Atal was like a bird. I don't know if that's got anything to do with like the Beast Realm and Komamura. I'm not really entirely sure. Probably not. But yeah, I really did like those two characters. Akon's now vice captain. Well, it makes sense because obviously, well, I'm even forgetting their name. Sorry, I'm just gonna take a drink. Nanao. Like it makes sense because obviously, is that Nanao? No. Nemu, of course, yeah, because it makes sense obviously because like Nemu's been reborn and like at the end of 686 she was like a little kid again. So obviously she can't be the vice captain, so Akon's kind of filled the gap. But what's cool seeing like his Zanpakuto was really, really like, I mean, his Yu's and Natal's their Zanpakutos was stuff like completely different as in regards to what I've seen throughout the manga. Now obviously there's been some like the light novels and stuff in regards to their abilities, which was different, but like this was something different. Like it wasn't the normal like fire Zanpakuto I saw like throwing spears or like that kind of Zanpakuto. So it was really, really cool, really imaginative, and like again, as I said earlier on, like this is Kubo at his best in regards to the lore, like the abilities, just his imagination in this chapter was just really, really amazing. Backgrounds as well. Like we got a lot of backgrounds. I know that was a big complaint that everyone was always saying that Kubo never really used backgrounds, but we saw it in this chapter. So that was really, really cool to see as well. As well. Yeah. So that was basically all that I wanted to talk about. Now, obviously, the hell stuff. Now, let me just end it off with that. So, a couple of things. I think Kyoraku is lying. I think Kyoraku, the way that Kubo set him up as a character, he's always been the whimsical, so laid back kind of character, like a dad essentially, like the creepy old character in anime, but he's obviously serious when he wants to get to be. But he also puts on the act as if he does, like he's really goofy, like he doesn't know what's going on. But he knows. The man's, captain commander. He's the head captain. So, especially him coming into that role, he probably knows everything about the Soul Society now. He was probably filled in on a lot of information. Obviously, Yamamoto died, so there wasn't like essentially like a handover. But whether it be Central 46 or whatever, he probably came into a lot more information coming into that role. And even if not, I wouldn't be surprised if he knew it before anyway, either Yamamoto telling him or maybe like Ikutake or I don't know. But I just call cap. I call cap on Kyoraku being like, "Oh, I didn't know," or maybe it's true now. I always thought it was a rumor. No, the man knew. Listen, like especially from the Thousand Year Blood War and from this arc with what Kubo is seeming to imply, is that theme of heavily implying that Soul Society is not as good as it is. Like, it's got some skeletons in their closet, and that was heavily referred to with the Thousand Year Blood War. With the Gotai 13 in the beginning, how they were just bloodthirsty killers. And I think we will get a bit more about that in Hell, because obviously with this arc, with like Sao Poro basically saying, like Yamamoto's down here and all this kind of stuff, because it is very sinister, right? And again, with Kubo introducing into the lore, spirit class, the density and the reishi. So if you're a captain or stronger, basically, you can't be like reabsorbed into Serete, so you have to be sent to hell. Soul Society knew what they were doing. Like, Kyoraku knew about this. Another thing which is interesting is Zaoporo's not the big bad. He got stabbed by Ukitake's sword. Now, it's interesting to see Ukitake's sword, how it's extremely big. It links back to Shrika when he got stabbed by the massive sword when he was getting sent into hell. Obviously, it links back to that. So I'm not sure if because of Kamikake does, like, Ukitake now, is he like in some kind of, not management, but like, is he some kind of big bad in hell? Like, I don't know. But Kubo's definitely hinting something like that. Like, Ukitake, we're gonna see more. We're gonna see Ukitake again. We're definitely gonna see a lot of like the dead people, whether it be Unohana, Yamamoto. We're definitely gonna see them guys again. So yeah, it's just like so intriguing. And where does that link to with Kazuri? Like, how does he know about this stuff? And it implies as if when he said, "Oh yeah, you won't be alone. There's more people down there." When he says that to the soul, right? How did he know that? Like, he's obviously done this before. Like, he knows about this. He's either been to hell or he's sent people to hell before, which is just insane. Now, I know people are thinking, "Oh, Kazui's so innocent." Again, I'm calling a cat. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to say that Kazui's like the big bad, or like he's like an evil person and he's been like a traitor and working behind like the Goite 13. No, I don't believe any of that. But he's either been played or been manipulated by someone who, I don't know who it can be. Is it Sao Poro? Is it Ikatake? I don't know. There's just a lot of questions in regards to that, because like, why was Ukitake's sword used to stab Zaoporo? Now, obviously Zaoporo's not dead, because obviously, like, first, like, yeah, he's not dead. Yeah, it's just like really crazy that Kubo just done all of this, right? And it was obviously very intentional of using Zaoporo as that character. Like, he's been featured in the light novels. And even when so he's been featured, him and Arianiero, they have been featured in the light novels of obviously being alive in hell. And the whole Phosoplasm in the unofficial translation is called Will-O-Wisp. Kind of like Reishi, but like more, I don't know. It's really, there's a lot of information being added to the lore, and it's been really, really amazing. I think that's really, really great. Yeah, and just so many name drops. It was kind of odd that like Mayuri and everyone was talking about Urahara so much, but we didn't see him. That was a bit odd. But again, it just shows you that, yeah, we're gonna see him soon whenever the new chapter comes out. Now, I don't want to say bad news, but I think we have to be realistic as fans. Do I think we're gonna see the next chapter in like next week, or like the week after that, being like, Shonen Jump releases like an article or like a newsletter thing saying, Bleach is back, kind of thing? I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen at all. Because if we just look at Burn the Witch, right? Burn the Witch. I want to say the one shot came out 2018. Summer 2018. I'm like 70% sure it came out that year. But the 4 chapters came out when, like, last year? I want to say 2020, so it was like a 2-year wait. Let's be conservative, and let's just say, just get it wrong, let's just say it came out a year after the one shot. Like, if it came out a year after the one shot, then it's probably likely that, the new arc's gonna come out like a year after. Like, I don't see us getting a new chapter in like a couple of weeks. hell, I don't even see it coming in like a couple of months. I just want to be realistic. Like, it's been 5 years, and we've been obviously we found out about the anime like a year ago, like a year and a half ago. But these things take time. So, you know, if anything, if nothing, us Bleach fans, we know to wait. So it's definitely got me hyped for what's to come next. And I mean, Kubo's a busy man. Like, if he's doing this, he's doing Burn the Witch, and he's obviously got some role in the anime, in the production of that. Like, the man is busy right now. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great time to be a Bleach fan. It's an amazing time. I probably want to do more videos on this because this chapter just released a lot of new theories and a lot of stuff for me to talk about. But again, I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm probably going to leave it at that, guys. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's actually amazing to talk about Bleach again. You know what? It was so cool to just jump onto YouTube and just see some of the subscriptions that I have and the channels that I subscribe to, and just see like Bleach videos again on their feed. Like, and just seeing on my feed, on my subscriptions. Like, that was just amazing. And just seeing all the old people come back. Like, we're definitely going to have a lot of people come back into just the community. The Reddit's going to be popping. The YouTube's going to be popping. Like, I'm so excited. And then, yeah, I'm just going to end off with that, guys. It's been amazing. Can't believe it's the first time I've spoken about Bleach in like 5 years. Like, a Bleach chapter. So yeah, guys, I appreciate it. I love all of you guys. You guys really been here. I wouldn't have been surprised if a lot of people dropped off. Some people, we do that anyway. Like, if they haven't, like, if the videos weren't catered to your interest anymore. But if you've been here from the jump, we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot of Bleach, Like, if you've been here from the jump, I really do appreciate you. And like, welcome back, man. Like, let's go, let's go. So yeah, guys, that's enough from me, Shinigami Sam. Peace out, and I'll see you for that next Bleach chapter.